Oh, hi. How's it going? Welcome to today's vlog. I guess I'm just Mr. Rogers now. I'm just starting with putting my shoes on. Always got somewhere to go. I know it might have just felt like just yesterday that I moved out of this place and then moved into this place within a day because of Airbnb booking woes. But now it's the full Monty. Don't get too excited. I'm actually moving out of this Airbnb into another Airbnb. Tragic, I know. Hopefully this is the final one that I'm going into. I might have to book it a little bit longer, but from what I've seen, tomorrow is my valuation. Tomorrow is also the day I'm moving out. And so if everything goes according to plan, I'll hopefully know by Friday, which is 2 days after tomorrow, if everything works out and I can have a place to live and not just, live out of a suitcase. It really does grate me. I feel like I've been honestly just a bit more I've been up and down in the craziest ways, more than I've ever experienced in my life, where I just am waiting. I wake up each day and go, I just want this day to be over already, just because I can't do anything. I have to just wait to hear back, and that's just a couple days. It's just waiting for more waiting. And so it's a very weird experience because I feel like I'm a pretty optimistic guy, and most of the time I've got a lot of positivity flowing through my veins. I've got lots of stuff. I'm always trying to keep myself active. Even now, I am still editing photos and videos. And right now, I'm actually headed to deliver a different lens that I'm trading in, and then going to Cineworld, or actually my friend Doty's coming here. I'm doing some photos because essentially I'm working with Cineworld this month. They're working with me on Instagram. I'm really happy with the photos I've taken with them. So that's really nice. And essentially I'm having to get some pizza to promote some offer they've got on, and not the worst type of job, right? But the way I am with perfectionism and having to have it the right way, it gets weird, but hopefully this will be a fun experience. I can go to the cinema with my friend as well, and everything will be hopefully less stressful tomorrow if I can find out more about that valuation. And as a positive of this whole living situation, I'm kind of glad I got to experience Rotherhithe, this area in which I'm living for a bit. If you've never heard of it, it's just south of the Thames with loads of these little canals and quays. It's really nice. The whole place is basically, it feels like it's all brand new. Every house is some sort of variation of a new build. And it's nice that I feel like I kind of have a little box ticked of another area of London that I've gotten a chance to live in until, I guess, tomorrow when I add another one that I didn't expect to add. But hey, it gives me a bit more London experience. Also, I have walked towards this building so many times in the last month, and I just love its windows so much. I wish I could have windows like that. And that's where I've printed out some mortgage documents at the local library. All right, so everything's been posted. Next step is some pizza photography, some behind the scenes, what I'm doing with my life at the moment. Brand deals that involve taking photos of pizza, that's not so bad. So essentially, I've got my big boy softbox here, which is gonna be giving this a soft glow. I don't know what I'm doing with my LS60 yet. Basically, probably just gonna do a cut of lights just to give it a bit more depth. We just have 2 plates, no pizzas arrived yet, but we're gonna have some soda, hope 2 different types of pizza, and an appetizer. And it'll look good. All right, Doty is yet to arrive. She should be here in a little bit. She hates how east I live and how west she lives. But I think I've gotten the shoot down. It's been really frustrating. I've been battling with this lamp that keeps hitting me in the freaking head. I'm just too tall. So my main goal here was to try and have a little bit of a spread so that I could have a top-down shot from up here. And it would be 50, so about 50% more than this right now. And I think I did a pretty good job. The issue is, if I was in my future home, if I had all my kit around me, I'd be able to take these out of boxes, maybe have them on pizza plates to make it look a bit more aesthetically pleasing, have a bit more texture, add some sprinkling, maybe have a tablecloth, figure that out. But for what I'm doing, what I'm trying to figure out, I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. Plus, at the end of the day, this type of thing, I think it's mostly for me. When I'm working with brands like this, as much as I try my best to make a really good photo, they don't necessarily care. They're just yo, promote. And I'm can I do it in an arty way? And they're cool. I feel like most people don't also, most viewers are like, cool. But it's more just for me. I want to, improve what I'm doing and try and be like, thank you for this opportunity. Let me try and do something cool with it. Hello. I actually didn't end up doing any video to show you our fun pizza party, or me going to the cinema. That's fine. Sometimes you just gotta live in the moment. I'm now in my next Airbnb. I've got the tour. It's quite interesting. As you can see, there's like a big Super King bed in this little nook, which is interesting. And then I have this whole little living room to myself. But if you're aware, if you've been following my Twitch channel, if you've been, even if you watched some of my vlogs a couple vlogs ago, I've had an issue in previous living accommodation with moths. And guess what this house has? And I feel like it's one of those things where people don't realize how bad they are. But, oh, you just, I walked in and I immediately was like, oh, that's a moth. Do you have moths? No, this place doesn't have moths. So then I went, well, there's another one. Kill that one. And we went to the stairs and went, there's one. And I was like, okay, so if there's this many moths, I am genuinely concerned, okay? I've lived too much of my life dealing with moths, and I just don't want any more. Luckily, comes with chest. Luckily, I've got a couple of these little cedar sachets, just so, basically just in case, I was prepared for this. I got some lavender. If I bring moths to my next place, I will cry. I've been trying so hard, and now this was something I didn't expect. A place that I'm staying. 16 days is how long I've booked this place. Hopefully, I have a place by then. We'll see. Well, future Evan, this is past Evan saying my time in this Airbnb is now over. It feels really strange because I've been in each of these places for considerable time that it's like the tiniest roots of like, oh, this has been a temporary home, it's like now I've been here enough that it's running through my mind. I'm like, you have a autopilot settings almost in your brain, and this hasn't been the greatest of all places. I didn't even tell you guys about the stinky, smelly sewage leak that happened the whole last week, but now I am. That's been fixed. I talked to the neighbors about it. I sorted it out. I'm basically a member of the neighborhood watch, watching out for poop. But, we got to keep moving on. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, one day I will have my own place. Let's go. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay. Hello. Now you might be thinking, well, clearly not much time has passed, right? No. Well, I do have more of a beard now. My razor, my electric razor I usually use to trim, well, when I packed it, I didn't pack the charging cable because I thought, it won't be that long. This thing will last months. It does last months. It is currently months. So, I basically can't shave anymore. Gonna grow out the beard. I'm now in the process of packing down the lights because this lovely little place I've been in for 2 full weeks, I'm now done with. I didn't vlog anything in between because I've now finally done it. I've gotten another Airbnb, so moving into that one today. This has been a nice little place. Not for a tall person because the amount of times I've hit my head on this sloped ceiling way too many times. It's been interesting, much quieter than the last place. Willesden Junction, not much to do around here. So if you're looking to London, I wouldn't recommend Willesden Junction necessarily. Lovely residential area, some parts, but kind of boring, kind of dead. But yeah, packing up, going back east now to Isle of Dogs for my next Airbnb. Hopefully my last, but I say this at every Airbnb. Mortgage update. I guess I'll find out on Friday, but Friday when? By the time you're watching this, hopefully it's sorted. Just new things keep cropping up. So yes, I am once again in a situation in which my life is up in the air. I had an incredibly rough week last week. I've gone through a lot of things in the last 10 years. Not a lot, not more than average necessarily, but certain times I can think back to where I'm like, oh, that was a really, really bad time mental health wise. And I always get through, the positive, I'm still here. But this whole situation and this past week of nearly losing the house because of this, that, and the other reason that's out of my control due to mortgage people and lenders not being able to read has been really bad on the mental health. Had an incredibly rough week. Honestly, I was in such a bad place. I'm very happy I'm a bit better now. Things have mildly improved, and my broker has been working with the lender to move things forward a little bit to be like, hey, how about you learn to read? So that's nice. In the meantime, though, just more waiting. There's nothing worse than waiting in this situation because it's not like positive waiting. It's not like the outcome is certain. And at this point, because it's taken so long, at no fault of my own, this is not my fault. Lenders are so dreadful with self-employed people. It means that the people that are selling the house are getting more antsy to the point where just very close to essentially saying, I can't have the place at all. And all the money I've spent, all the time I've spent is basically wasted. And I don't know what I'd do then. So that's kind of why I'm so stressed. I put so much mental capital, if that's an expression, mental capacity into this place that I'm hoping to get, that if I don't get it, I'm just concerned about where I'd be mentally. I know at the end of the day, it's really hard, like sometimes when you're in a rough place, it's hard to think about how things could go positively if things don't go your way. But I think it's just because that instability of constantly having to move every 2-3 weeks, it really does a number, on the ability to think logically. So, hope everything works out as usual. We'll see. Goodbye, flat. On to the next one. Well, I've now made it to the next Airbnb. A sentence I genuinely wish I could never say in my life ever again. That'd be pretty nice. Hush it up in there. So, here I am. This place is quite a bit smaller than the last couple I've stayed at. In fact, I would say that it's kind of smaller than every other room I've ever stayed in since 2014. It looked a little bit bigger on the photos. Usually I'm pretty good. A lot of people try and use a nice wide-angle lens to be like, look how big, and I'm like, I'm on to you. But my usual specification, if you're like, how does he choose where to stay? I just try and find some place that's not overly expensive and has enough room for possibly like my lights and things. This place does, kind of, but I have nowhere else to put anything, so I have to like really try and utilize all the space possible. I was expecting an update on my mortgage situation yesterday, but my broker was at a funeral for my housing prospects, rather probably actually for a real funeral. So, what are you going to do except laugh at how many delays there can be? I'm actually working with another broker now, recommended by my accountants, who's like, holy God, you've been mistreated? Yeah. So if you're in the house buying process, this is just a tip for you. Absolutely, under no circumstances, unless you want to live your life like me right now, should you ever go with the broker that is recommended to you by the developer, thinking that it will make things more seamless, when in reality, they are not good at their jobs, the one thing they're supposed to be good at. So maybe don't choose them. Yeah. Hey, but on a more positive note, I got my new baby in, so that's quite nice. My hair is getting unruly. I got the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. This boy is absolutely massive. What a freaking unit. Look at, let me just wow, look at him. As big as my head. I'm very excited to edit these videos on this because it will be so much faster. No more lagging, no more anything. Beautiful, heavy, hefty boy.
They received it on the 8th of November. They're currently on an 8 working day turnaround, so they're quite slow at assessing documents at the moment.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll have an update on that by latest Thursday.
Yep, thank you very much. Appreciate the update.
No problem.
Bye-bye. All right, well, I've now gotten settled into this one, this one. I truly hope this is the last one. I mean, I felt that way about the last two as well. But you can't really help when these things go wrong. I've really been trying my utter best, but so many of these things are just so fully out of my hands that it's overwhelming, It makes sense to be stressed. I feel like that's a reassuring feeling to know that, like, it's normal to feel upset and stressed about this whole situation.
And there's a lot of people that have had similar types of things. Now, I won't be going into detail, but there's been yet again another delay. It's crazy as well because it's not even like I feel like I would have been able to manage my expectations so much more if I was told, let's just say when I reserved the place in July, that there was a chance it could go until December. But instead, I was kind of gaslit the entire way into thinking that this was a 3 to 4 week thing, just another 2 weeks, just another week, just another week, just another week, just overwhelming. But as a positive, I found some of these guys. I've been thinking about how I don't actually. Well, this one's already open. Asda. I was thinking about how I haven't really gotten a chance to experience many British biscuits. There's so many of them. I grew up with so many different American cookies. And so this one just has a lot of things. It's got shortbread. It's got these sticks, chocolate stick. What I can only describe as Jammy Dodgers. This is actually, fun fact, the Evan Lore, my first ever British biscuit. My friend Ali was telling me a lot about them, and I had to try. A little underwhelming. But I'm probably just going to dunk these in some tea, have a nice de-stress. What I've been doing recently, just to kind of like do something to get my mind off of things, is since I've got my new laptop, I've been playing Civilization 6. It's a very addictive game. I think I play it like once every 1 or 2 years, because I'm like, hey, should I try and start this game that'll probably take me a full 24 hours to finish? Yeah, it's been nice to get my mind off of it, especially because no matter what I'm doing, I think the most annoying thing about this whole situation is that I feel like I can't be myself. I can't be as productive as I want, as like go getting, here's all the stuff I'm doing as I want to, because it's just not possible. My brain's not there. My kit isn't there. I can't use my monitor or anything. I don't have like a nice routine. I'm just out of it. And so I'm basically just trying to make do with what I can. But I did film a video today, so that's nice, about Airbnbs. I think it was really fun. So, I'm still managing to make at least one a week, but I just hate that feeling like this whole 3-4 month period has been like big filler for my life. Like I haven't been able to do all the amazing stuff that I wanted to. It's almost like lockdown again, where like I feel like some part of me is being taken away. But hey, what really helps me at the moment is just knowing that this will be over soon. Delays, maybe, we'll see. Thanks for catching up on the old second channel. Future Evan, hope you're having a good time. I'm gonna enjoy some biscuits. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully at a place of your own. Evan, this video is all over the place. I know. It actually is, because I am. I'm all over the place physically, mentally. Now, I believe I did mention that I've not shaven because I don't have the charger to my beard trimmer. Now, I did film a main channel video already. You saw from the previous clip what I look like this. I don't know. It's giving me bad vibes. As in, the one thing I think I'd like to have is a slight feeling of stability in the way that I view myself, my self-image, and just looking in the mirror and seeing so many hairs getting this long and not really knowing how I feel about it just makes me feel a little uncomfortable, being vulnerable. So I'm going to get the heck rid of that. I'm gonna go back to my storage unit and just spend however long it takes to find that charger in whatever box of wires I've got. Oh man, it's hopefully I'll end it, get rid of this, go back to a base level and feel more comfortable about myself. Also, I'm in a little bit of a better mood because last night I got an email from the sales team that leads me to believe that they're not just going to kick me to the curb if my second lender situation fails. I told them in a huge update, here's a tip, give as much information as possible. So I basically told them, yeah, we've had a problem with the second lender. I'm really not happy with the way this is going myself. And so I'm actually working with a second broker because this first one's been so bad. And hey, you recommended him, so what's that say? I said it without saying it. And he seemed to be like, oh, sweet, you're taking initiative. Take initiative, let me get my freaking charger, hopefully. Back again. Here we are. I got the wire actually pretty quickly. I'm trying to be a little bit positive to myself, and maybe certain things are a bit hard to find, maybe, but so far, everything I've needed to find, I've gotten within a half hour. Now today's was literally, I don't know how I did this, but I just went directly to the corner I've never been in this place, like that corner. I don't usually go there. That's where it was. So that's pretty nice. Just a nice box of wires right on top, almost as if 3 months ago Evan was like, you're going to want to shave. I just had to think about like why I wanted this so bad. At first I thought it would be funny in a way, because it's like, this really shows how long this process is, taken. Look at my beard, it's growing out. But there's like part of me that's like, I want to have full control over how I look. I don't want it to just be like, oh, that's what I just have to deal with. Like, at least I can control that, And if I can't control it, dang, just let me control one more thing, okay? I can't control the timeline of events with this house, so at least let me control the way my beard looks. As much as I'm like, maybe it could look nice, I'd rather do it on my own terms. I don't know if you guys went through the same thing, but it's very similar to lockdown 2020. I immediately got my haircut as soon as I could, and now I'm growing it out on my own terms. I think that it just has a little bit to do with relinquishing control over certain things and doing it on my own terms. And so, yeah, got my stuff out of my box and gonna take a tiny sip of whiskey. There's nothing left. I gotta save it for the last slug. At long last, I've got the trimmer. Pretty happy. It's now fully charged. Like I said, I don't really think it has to do with the length per se, but more about the lack of control over what's going on with it. Now that I have it and it's fully charged and I can turn it on, I'm like, oh, cool. Now how do I really feel? I don't really like the unruliness of it, to be honest. I kind of wish the little strands were not as much there, so I think I'm just going to trim it back a tiny amount, let it grow, but a bit more clean. So hopefully a good decision. Yeah, see, nothing's really even, just the small extra ones seem to be going away, which is nice. I have been really stressed that I would start like trimming or shaving halfway through, it would die, and then I'd be like, hello everybody, welcome back to a man who shaved half of his beard. So that was just something I was concerned about. Well, it's still quite long. I think it's like 5 millimeters, but I really like how it looks. Just that little thing of just trimming up the ones that are too long, maybe look scraggly. Now I'm like, cool, I've got this. In terms of the house update, today is the day. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that's kind of what I've been saying like every day. Today's the day, TM. Yeah, every single day has been supposedly the day. Yesterday was the day. Friday was the day. Monday, the previous Monday, and every day has been the day, and every day has been delayed. So why would I think anything different? I go into each day that it's supposed to be thinking this is the day, because that's what I'm told. And then it's always embarrassing when they're like, no, a new delay. Here's a new delay. I think this might be the final one, though. This might be the final, like, big delay. So, I think they'll come up with something. So that'll be stressful. But either way, hopefully the next time I talk to you will be a little bit more of a personal update about what's going on, and maybe a move-in date. Maybe. Or maybe not. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. It's been an up and down month or 2 or 3, and hopefully it's back to being up. I've had a really good year despite these last 3 months of stress, though. Like, I keep trying to pull myself out and be like, this is the same year in which I literally built my own website, which this isn't sponsored. I was just really proud of myself for that. I started selling photography prints, and I was really proud of that. I started taking what I was doing a bit more seriously. I got my British citizenship, and now here I am trying to get a house. So, obviously in the middle of stressful things, it's really easy to just be like, everything's bad, but trying to pull myself out, and pull myself out in more ways than one. Not sexually. Why would you think that? Come on now. It's just meant... Okay. Anyway, this has gone on for a bit. Hope you have a nice day wherever you are at the moment. I'm going to try and do the same. See you on the next one. There's no promoting. I'm not promoting another video. No, not happening. No, just moving on with my life. Move on with yours. I'll see you whenever I see you. Goodbye.